Hello, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to, allow for some other people to join in. So if you could, get a pencil or paper out, we'll get started in a minute or so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are currently. Welcome to the Giving Tuesday Now event and team training session. I'm excited to get started with you guys. My name is Lisa, and I am the Community Engagement Manager here at Mighty Cause. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. So I've set out an agenda to kind of divide up what we're going to be chatting about. So first, for today's training session, I'm going to be talking about just some key information about Giving Tuesday, how you can participate, etc. As well, I will also be going over what is peer-to-peer fundraising. Our event and team fundraising page is meant to help cater to peer-to-peer fundraising. So I'll be breaking down exactly what that is, especially if you are new to that type of fundraising technique. I'll then be jumping into our event and team fundraising tools and the differences between the two, what you should utilize. And then for the most portion of this walkthrough and this training session, I'm going to be going over exactly how to create a team or an event and how you can get started right after this webinar. Great. So on your right-hand side, go to Webinar Control Panel. There is a questions box. So if you have any questions that come up, we'll be answering a large portion of them at the end. But however, feel free to answer all of your questions down right there. And I'll be going through some of them as we go through. So to begin, some information about Giving Tuesday Now. If you are new to the event and are new to Giving Tuesday Now is on May 5th. It was created by the givingtuesday.org organization, and it was made as a response to the pandemic. Mighty Cause is providing a lot of resources and tools for organizations that are going to help in regards to providing some fundraising ideas as to how you can participate and what you can do. So there are many ways in how you can participate for Giving Tuesday Now. One being that if you are on the platform, you do not need to register for Giving Tuesday Now. It's a bit different than the traditional Giving Tuesday around November or December. So you do not need to register. You're already on the platform. So all you need to do is share, your fundraising page links with your donors and your supporters. In regards to the type of campaign that you have to create, a lot of organizations are utilizing their organization profile page. So we recommend simply reviewing the text that you have on your profile page and framing it around this event, and as well as any COVID relief that you're doing or how your nonprofit is affected during this time. Other organizations are creating a completely separate fundraising page for their specific COVID relief work. And others are also planning peer-to-peer campaigns, which is what we're here today to talk about in more length. So what is peer-to-peer fundraising? Peer-to-peer fundraising is a technique where a nonprofit leverages existing supporters to bring in new supporters by asking them to create a fundraiser and ask their social network for donations. Essentially, what that means is that you are asking your supporters, your board members, your volunteers, anyone that's really helped your organization out in any sort of capacity, and you're asking them to fundraise on behalf of your organization. So, why are organizations interested in peer-to-peer fundraising? Why is this something that you would be interested in pursuing or organizing? Well, one, peer-to-peer fundraising is a great donor acquisition strategy because by asking your network of people to fundraise on behalf of your organization, you're getting access to a whole new assortment of donors that maybe you wouldn't have access to before. Your board members, your volunteers, etc., are reaching out to their family and friends. So again, you're receiving new donors and you're spreading the reach and the mission of your organization. Since you're having people participate and actively, really feel like they're actively participating for your organization, it's going to generate buzz on social media because those individuals are not only going to email their social network, but they're also going to share on social media. They're going to share their pages on Facebook, on Instagram, and it's a great way to also increase your social following. And lastly, these fundraisers that people are creating for your organization act as great testimonials to share the importance of your work and your mission. People have the opportunity to share why they want to fundraise for your organization, their personal relationship with your organization. So let's jump into how the tools on Mighty Cause can help create a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign for your organization. Our platform has two key tools: team fundraising and event fundraising. And so it's important to understand the differences between the two because obviously those terms can be used in a lot of different ways by a lot of different people. Some people may, an organization may be creating an event, but that doesn't necessarily mean that our event fundraising page is going to be the right solution for their event. So let's break down exactly what that means, and we'll also jump into more detail on these two in a second. So a team fundraising page is a group fundraising page where participants individually, however, towards a collective goal. And an event combines these team fundraising pages with also individual participants to create a larger peer-to-peer campaign. So let's dive into a little bit about teams. So as I mentioned, this is where individuals are going to participate individually, but also towards a collective goal. So on the right-hand side, you'll see an example, the Animal Humane Society. This is a team fundraising page. And in the leaderboard, you have the individual participants that are participating in this team. And this example, these are board members that are participating. So a team fundraising page is perfect for natural groups such as board members, such as staff, companies, volunteers. Again, people that are going to compete against each other or participate individually, but are still have a common goal. A family wouldn't be the best example of a team because individual family members are not going to fundraise separately from each other. They're just going to fundraise collectively. So a team wouldn't be the right solution for a family because they don't need that individual fundraising ability. And as I noted in the previous slide, again, the team fundraising page provides the ability for these participants on their own pages to share their own story and kind of drive more interest for your organization. And an event fundraising page combines all of these team pages and individual participants. It's great for a larger scale peer-to-peer campaign. I'm going to show you an example in 1 second. And as well, our event fundraising page has additional tools that might be beneficial for your campaign, such as a specific area for sponsors, as well if you are planning on having any registration process, you're having an admission, a ticketing, etc. We do have an integration with Eventbrite on our event fundraising tool. So here I've provided an example that kind of breaks down the hierarchy and breaks down how they all can work together. So on the left-hand side, you'll see that this is a school readathon. And this is the primary page that the school is sending their parents, their donors, etc. And within the leaderboard, it's divided into two areas, fundraisers and teams. And within the school readathon, there are going to be teams for each grade. So you'll see at the top right, there's a team, the kindergarten team. And within that kindergarten team, you're going to have all the students within that kindergarten class. And they're going to have their own page, as you see in the bottom right corner, that they can share with their own friends and family. So as you see, you have event, team, and then the individual. So let's say you don't need group fundraising pages. You don't need necessarily this idea of teams. You're not planning on having these groups of people individually fundraise as a group. Well, that's perfectly okay. In that case, you'll want to just create a team fundraising page and not create an event fundraising page. This is an example of a team that a group of pedicabbers that wanted to fundraise for an organization in the Boston area. And they wanted to collectively, raise funds, but they were also making it a competition. And so they each created their own fundraising page, but they have this group fundraising page that shows their collective goal. They didn't need an event because they weren't going to be divided up into groups, etc. So I'm going to jump into a technical walkthrough in a second. I'm going to go through the entire process of how to create an event or a team and show you how you can do that. Before I do so, I just want to shout out some resources that are available to you. So one is our support forum. We have an entire section dedicated to a team and event fundraising, and we have dedicated support articles about how to build your event and team, how to fill out your pages, etc. So I definitely recommend checking that out. If you're brand new to peer-to-peer fundraising, we actually have a handbook for you, so you can check out that link. And as well, this slide deck is available as a handout within this webinar, and you'll be provided this information in a follow-up email. We also have a blog that has a ton of articles that kind of break down in a more strategic way of how to make your team and event successful. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to support@mightycause.com. Awesome. So let's get into the technical walkthrough. So to begin your campaign for Giving Tuesday now, you want to head over to givingtuesday.mightycause.com. At the very top, you'll see a plus icon, and you can select that, or you can simply place your mouse over it and see the drop down. Before we begin in actually creating, you want to make sure that you're logged into your account. You can log in on the right top, on the right hand side at the very top. So you want to make sure that you're logged in first. And as well, if you're brand new to the platform, you also want to make sure that you're set up as an administrator for your organization. So you want to search your organization and claim your nonprofit so that you are an administrator for your organization. Anyone can create an event or team for any organization on the platform. So even if you are just, want to support an organization and plan something, you can do so. You don't have to be part of the nonprofit necessarily. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to just click this plus icon. It's going to land me on a Fundraising Solutions page. It's going to break down information on individual fundraisers, teams, and events. So there's really no right or wrong answer if you choose to make a team or an event for your campaign. It's really dependent on the details of your campaign and your preferences. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. If you are, confused and you want clarification, feel free to reach out to us, support@mightycause.com. We're more than happy to help you out. If you share details about your campaign and what your goals are, we can help guide you in the right direction. But again, there's no right or wrong necessarily an answer for what to create. But for this example, I'm going to create an event, and then within the event, I'm going to create a team. So I'm going to select create an event, and then I'm going to get started. So the first question that I'm going to be asked is, where will the funds go? And also it's going to ask me if it's single beneficiary or multiple beneficiary. And I'll just clarify the two differences. So single beneficiary means that donations are just going to one nonprofit. Multiple beneficiaries means that the participants of the campaign can choose the organization they want to support. So this is most commonly going to be used by a company, for example. If you want your employees, if you're doing a charity drive, but you want your employees to choose the nonprofits that they're raising funds for, you would select multiple beneficiaries. But we're going to just select single beneficiary for this example. So I'm going to search my nonprofit name or search by EIN. If you have a organization name that has pretty broad or kind of common names within it, you want to search by your EIN to make sure that you're connecting your campaign to the right organization. But I'm going to just search my name because Mighty Cause is pretty unique. And I'm also just going to check and see the EIN that's listed here. Yep, that's our EIN. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to continue. So now it's time to launch our event manager. So now I have a kind of pre-populated template for my team. We try to make this super easy and very seamless. It's essentially fill in the blank. So all you have to do is just fill in certain information about your campaign. If you are an administrator, you know about your about your dashboard, and an event or a team has the same similar, I should say, dashboard available. And this is where you're going to be able to manage your page as well as edit it. At the very top of your dashboard, there are two key sections, live page and page editor. Live page will give you, show you what your page looks like to participants or donors when they come on. And then page editor shows you all of your editing capabilities, as well as you can simply click in and edit through the page itself. So let's begin at the very top. I'm going to enter a logo for my campaign. The logo area is 1-to-1 ratio, so you want to make sure that it is a square image. You don't want to upload a rectangular image, or else your image will be cropped and it will not fit into that area. So I'm going to go ahead and add our logo. I'm also going to update our title. And for this example, I'm going to do a virtual readathon for Giving Tuesday Now. As well, I want to update our background image, the image that's behind everything. And I wanted to make sure that it fits our theme a bit more. So I'm going to select Edit Theme, and then I'm going to select a background image. With your background image, you want to make sure that the background image is a larger, it doesn't have to be a square. And as well, if you don't necessarily have an image that you currently want to utilize, I recommend checking out unsplash.com. This is a free resource for photos that you can utilize. You can reuse photos here for commercial use. So definitely check it out. This is where I was able to find all of the images that you've seen here. So it's a really great resource if your organization doesn't have currently professional photos to share. Great. So then I'm going to click this little checkbox to save that. And I'm also going to change our theme color, which is that green color you see on the page. And I'm going to save that. as we scroll down the page, I'm going to enter our fundraising deadline. Since we're making this for Giving Tuesday now, I'm going to select May 5th, and that's going to end right before midnight. And then I'm going to enter our goal. So as you see so far, super easy. It's just filling in your information. So our page is not published yet. If we send this link to users, they won't see a page that's available for them to look at. You need to fill out some key information about your page and then publish it. And to publish it, it is that rocket icon on the left-hand side. And if you select that, it'll tell you the information that you need to complete in order to publish your page so that you can begin having people participate and reviewing your page. So the story section allows you to share information about your story. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste some information that I have listed in some notes. Similar to any other, fundraising page or organization page on the dashboard, you have an inline text editor. So I'm going to simply format this a bit. And I'm also going to add an image. I'm going to select insert image. If you have a video that you would like to share, you can do so by simply selecting the video icon. And your video does have to be already imported into either Vimeo or YouTube, and you would simply share via the link. All right, so now that we've completed the story section, I also want to shout out another area that you can utilize to share additional information, and that is this top area. You can add actually a custom tab if you would like. So if there's additional information you want to add, such as prizes, maybe you want to have a shout out corner, you can do so. I'm going to list an area for prizes. So people that win. I'm going to save that. And now when people come onto our page, they're going to see this section called prizes where they can go in. So let's keep editing. The next section down the list is our sponsors and affiliates section. So as I noted, if you are having a larger peer-to-peer type of campaign and you're having any partners, hosts, affiliates, you can actually enter information on them. So I'm going to select this pencil icon and it's going to allow me to add a new section. So you can really actually create the section to look however you want this to look like. So I'm going to just write sponsors. And I'm going to add information on one of our sponsors. And I am just going to provide a link so that if anyone wants to go to our sponsors website, they can do so. Great, I've saved that. Now if I head back, I'll see that section. Now that we've completed sponsors, the last section is filling out our organization info. So there is a location that you have to enter. Obviously, for all of these campaigns, they're going to be virtual. So you can simply just write, the general location of your organization. I'm just going to be writing Washington, D.C. Great. Now that I've completed all of that, I'm going to select the rocket icon, the publish button. I'm going to publish my page. Now that it is published, I can begin inviting people to join my event, and they can also begin donating to it. So let me just reload this page. And what you'll see added is a donate button that is available to you, as well as join this event. So with join this event, this is where people can begin actually creating their fundraising pages. So I'm going to actually go into building a team so that for anyone that's building a team or is looking to have teams within their event can see that process. So I'm going to select join this event, and that will ask the user to choose the selection they want. Now for me, I'm already logged in and I've previously created campaigns for this organization. So my display right now is going to look a little bit different than your participants who have never used the platform before or have never fundraised for your organization before. For them, they're going to be first asked to create a login and password. And since they haven't created any campaigns, they're not going to see eligible campaigns. They'll simply be asked if they want to start a fundraiser, create a team, or if you already have teams, to join a team. So I'm going to create a fundraising team. So similar to the event fundraising page, we have a blank team page, and now all we have to do is fill this out. For our example, I'm actually going to create teams that are based off our departments at Mighty Cause. So I'm going to create a finance department team. I'm going to add a logo for our team that just, really captures our department. And I'm just going to crop this image a little bit. Great. I also want my page to pop out when donors come on. So I'm going to also add a background image for my team as well. So I'm going to select this background image. Great. Now, if I wanted to, I could also change my own theme color for my team. And I would simply do so by selecting this little paint palette, and I can choose my own theme color. For now, I'm just going to use, the theme color that the event organizer chose for us. At the top, I have some metrics that I can display, such as dollars raised and number of donors. I'm going to opt into showing all of them, which is number of donors and number of donations. So I'm going to add all of those. I also want to enable a goal and progress bar in a story section. So I'm going to select goal and progress bar to add, and I'm going to set a goal for our team. And then I'm also going to enable a story. For the sake of this example, I'm going to simply copy and paste the information I had for my event. But again, if this is a great opportunity for your teams to share information about their own, team, share images, etc. And if you have a sponsor section and you are having teams that are a part of an event that has sponsors, that information will be pre-populated. So again, if you're not creating an event and you're just making a standalone team, you would simply go through, in regards to editing this page, it's really similar. As well, we have a left-hand side dashboard too, so you can always double check and see the options that are available. We've already actually updated all of the info that's required on a team. And actually, we've already been added to the team leaderboard, or I'm sorry, to the event leaderboard and the event. When you edit the name, that automatically publishes your team. So let's head over to our event. And if we scroll down, we can see that there has been a leaderboard added, and as well as our team has been listed there. So for many organizers, one of the key questions or common questions that we get is, can I create these pages for my participants, or should I be the one to create it? And that is a common thing, or a relatively common thing, that some organizers choose to do. They want to go through the process of creating fundraising pages for their teams. Others want to, have their participants really invested in the process. And so they simply, allow their participants to go through the process and create their own fundraising pages. If you are planning on having your participants create their own pages, I definitely recommend sharing our support articles that break down the process. As you see, it's pretty self-explanatory, but obviously any additional information is helpful. And some organizers choose to write out their own instructions because they know their support network and they want to clarify it in their own words. However, if you are planning on creating pages for your organizers, you want to make sure that you are editing your leaderboard. And I'm going to actually go through a couple of leaderboard options that you have available to you. So if you select on this tool right here on the top left side of your leaderboard, you'll see some display settings. So the top is the ranking system. So you're allowed to decide how you want your leaderboard to be ranked. It will be automatically be ranked by dollars raised. But if you would like, you can choose by number of donors, number of donations. And if you don't want it to be competitive, you can just have it ranked by name and by alphabetical order. The second is the display format. Automatically will show the organizer's name for individual fundraising pages. But again, if you're planning on creating the pages for them, then you want to select fundraiser title, which will make sure that the title of that fundraiser is what's displayed. The next is the default leaderboard, and that allows you to choose whether you want teams to be at the forefront or fundraisers. And the last is how many default entries you want shown. Depending on how large your event is, you may want the default to be shown as 15 or 5. Great, so now that we've created our team, let's invite people to join our team and create their own fundraising pages. One thing that you have available to you on your event fundraising page or on your team fundraising page are templates. And Fundraiser Templates fill in the blank some information for your participants. So this can be found in settings of your left-hand side dashboard. And at the top, you'll see 3 different tabs: General Settings, Fundraiser Template, and Beneficiary Settings. So I'm going to select Fundraiser Template. As you see, there are some key things that you can fill out for your participants. And this makes their life a little bit easier once they have all of this pre-populated for them. And I'm going to fill this out and show you an example. So I'm going to do first and last name. I'm also going to fill out a suggested goal. They can always change this information. I'm going to fill in this short story for them. And then I'm also going to fill out the story section for them. Now, this is probably one of the most important sections, I would say, in regards to filling out your template, because, filling out a story can be kind of the biggest roadblock people can, run into when creating their fundraising page, because they're not sure what to write or what to add in that area. So kind of filling in that information is great. And, if you want that personal touch, you want members to share their own stories, I definitely recommend, have the essential information that you want. And, you may want to add just a note, say, add personal story, just so that a lot of this is already filled out for them and all they have to do is add their own personal story and they're good to go. So I'm going to save this. Great. So I'm going to head back. Now, as the team organizer, let's say I'm the team lead of this finance department, and I want to send out people this link, this URL link, and they can join my team by simply selecting join team. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get started, and I'm going to create a new fundraiser. So I've been notified that a template has been created for me. So as you see, the information that I wrote is pre-populated for that participant. So as the participant, all I have to do is just go in and edit that information. I'm going to add in my own image, and we do have also the pixelation recommendation here. And similar to your event fundraising page, you do have to publish an individual fundraising page. So all the participant has to do is select this rocket icon, and I'll let them know if they need to complete anything else in order to publish their page. So all I have to do is just set my duration. So I'm going to add May 5th, save, and then I'm going to go ahead and publish my page. Great. Now that my page is live, I can go ahead and share this URL with my friends and family, and they'll be able to go directly to my page and make a donation. At the bottom of the fundraising page, they can also see the team that I'm participating in. And if we go back to that team, you'll see that a leaderboard has been added. Let me just refresh my page. As you see, my name's been added to the leaderboard. And if I head over here, there's also a new column added called fundraisers, and my name has been added right there. So as I mentioned, there's two ways of inviting participants to join your team or your event. So that can be through just simply providing people the link and having them go to the direct link that you want them to participate in. And as well, if you are running an event, they can always go through join this event and join a team or create a team through here. Another way that an organizer can invite participants is through the left-hand side dashboard, and that's through participants section. Through the participants section, you'll see all of the participants for your campaign. You'll see their name, their email address, and the type of campaign that they created. You'll also see three icons in the top right corner. One is a plus icon, a mail icon, and a download icon. The plus icon allows you to invite new members. So all you have to do is enter the email address of the individual you want to invite, select send invite, and then an invitation is sent to them. Again, this can also be done through the team fundraising page, similar dashboard. All you have to do is select participants and do the same thing. So everyone has access, any organizer of a team or event has access to these tools. The mail icon allows you to create a message and send an email to all of your current participants. So this is a great tool to utilize during your campaign if you want to motivate or thank people for participating. As you receive new members, you can select the individuals that you want to message and select those as people that you want to message. And then the download icon downloads a member list of all those participants that you have. You can also use the search queue to search different campaign statuses. Maybe you want to help a fundraising page publish their page, or you want to look up all of your teams and quickly send out a message to all of your team organizers. That's all available in your participant section. Within your campaign section, that's going to list out all of the fundraising pages that have been created. It's similar information. However, the key difference is that If you are having registration within your event, which I'll get to in a second, you'll also see information within your participant section of people that have registered and what, based off the information you provided in your registration process, the ticketing option or the admission, the choice that they chose during that registration process. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the webinar, we do, on our event fundraising page, we do have the ability to integrate with Eventbrite. So if you do have registration process that you want people to purchase a ticket in order to participate, you can do so through Eventbrite. So what you would want to do on your left-hand side dashboard on your event page is select registration. You'd want to link with your Eventbrite account, and through eventbrite.com, create that registration page. And then what would change is on your event fundraising page, this join this event would be changed to register, and it would direct people through that registration process and then transport them back into Mighty Quest to create their fundraising page. If anyone has a question about Eventbrite, we can go over that at the very end. So when donors come onto your event page or your team page or your individual participants page, they'll be selecting donate. So let's go through the checkout flow. So from an event fundraising page or from a team fundraising page, when you select donate, donors will have the ability to select the fundraising page or team page that they want to support. So if they don't want to support a specific, individual, they want to just support the team or the overall event, they can do so by selecting general fund. And general fund means I'm just supporting the overall event or campaign. Once I select that, I'll be taken through that checkout flow process where I'll have my 4 donation amounts and a custom donation amount. Donors can add a dedication if they would like to your donation. If you've opted to collect any further information, data information such as phone number, that will be listed here. If you are an advanced subscriber, you will have access to enter custom questions. In this example, it's, are you interested in any volunteer opportunities? That will be listed there. And then it's pretty standard process of credit card info. And then at the end, they will see their total. They can choose to cover transaction fees and pay. So pretty easy process in regards to donors making a donation. And again, whatever page they land to, team, event, or directly on the individual, they'll be able to make a donation to that specific participant that they want to support. All of your donor information can be found on the report section of your left-hand side dashboard under donation report. Your donation report will list all of the donors that you've received and will tell you their donor amount, their date, their name, and will also tell you the page that's associated with that donation. You can view by a specific fundraiser or team. You can also review by a specific date. So if you want to review donations by a specific date, you can, and you can also download this report. If you need an offline donation, you can do so. And what's really great is that you can actually designate your offline donation to a particular member. So if you are the organizer of the campaign and you are receiving checks from different supporters, etc., you can actually enter that info and have it support a specific participant. So I'm going to make offline donation right now. I'm going to give it to Lisa G Fundraiser. I'm going to, the donor doesn't want their name hidden or their amount hidden, so I'm going to complete this donation. The one thing I did not do is enable offline donations, which you want to make sure that you do so. So I'm going to make sure to enable offline donations in my settings on the left-hand side dashboard. Select include offline donations, and I'll get to the section in a second. And now you see the offline donation that I entered. And as well, if I go to this individual fundraising page and I reload it, I'll be able to see my total has been updated here as well. The total will be updated, once I reload, or it's automatic right here. It'll be updated here, and the leaderboard will be updated as well as on my overall event. So as I mentioned, there is a settings section. So let's jump into a little bit in detail about the settings and what's provided there, and then we'll get to questions at the end. So as I noted when I went over fundraiser templates, at the very top, you have 3 tabs: general settings, fundraiser template, beneficiary settings. We already went through fundraiser templates, the template that you can fill out for your participants. But let's go over general settings and some of the key things that you'll need to know here. So if you want to make your event invite only, so you don't want to have anyone can join, you only want to invite certain participants, you can make it an invite only event. It will be automatically sent to anyone can join. Social sharing allows you to customize the image and the text that comes up when an individual shares their link to that fundraising page on social media. So if you want a different image or you want different text, you can go ahead and edit that information and click save. Custom URL allows you to change the end of the unique URL that's given on that link. So right now for this team, we have givingtuesday.com/team/ and then N5Q5DF. Well, I can go ahead and change that, and I'll just make an example: Mighty Read Team 20. And now the end of our URL is Mighty Read Team 20. Our metrics, page metrics, the progress calculation means the date that donations on your page are calculating from. So if you're using an older team or an older event page that you have used previously, you want to make sure that you update these metrics to make sure that they account only for donations of when you want them to count towards. So here it's going to, donations are going to be calculated from 4/29 from 2 p.m. 2/26. Team status, discoverability, turn off donations, and visitor redirect. So this is key for when you finish your event or finish your team. If you want to hide your team or event fundraising page, you'll turn off discoverability. If you want to end donations entirely, you want to turn off donations. Now for an event fundraising page, donations will be automatically turned off when your event is finished. And visitor redirect allows you to change the page that the visitor is directed to when they enter your URL. So if you are running an annual event and you had a 2019 page, you want to go to that 2019 page and enter redirect, so that redirects to your 2020 page. So that's everything with general settings. With beneficiary settings, this has everything to do with the general fund of your organization. So the checkout flow, if a donor chooses to make a donation for your, for a campaign overall. One thing to note is that if you do choose to change your suggested donation levels here, that is not going to automatically change all the suggested donation levels for every participant. That will just be our set donation levels and descriptions. However, if you need any assistance on updating some participants, their checkout flows, please let us know. And then lastly, your post checkout is something, again, if someone makes a donation to your general fund, that is what will show up once they click the complete a donation. Okay, so That's the gist of our overall event fundraising page. I know we have a ton of questions, so I'm going to try my best to go through all of them. And if we don't have time, we can go over that in more details. Okay, so the first question, when we try to share our fundraising pages via email, we click share and then the email icon and nothing happened. Troubleshoot, please. So that if you have an email system on your device, such as Outlook, or if you use a Mac, it will be your mail, your mail application. It will open an email that way. If you don't have either two, an open mail response will not open. However, that mail tool really just provides one sentence and a URL link. So although it's really helpful, it's not the end of the world if you don't have those applications where that would open for you. All right, so since we do not have folks to do the peer-to-peer piece, how do we best use the page we established during Giving Tuesday 2019? That's a great question. We actually have a dedicated webinar we did a couple of days ago about how to, really utilize Giving Tuesday now. If you aren't planning peer-to-peer, that's perfectly fine. I would definitely recommend checking out our YouTube channel. And we did a whole webinar on, how to, create a campaign around COVID-19 and Giving Tuesday now. I definitely recommend checking that out. There are lots of different ways that you can best utilize your page for Giving Tuesday 2019. Can we post matching gifts on team or event pages? That's a great question, and actually a section that I did not go through. So thank you for reminding me. So there is a section on teams or events that allows you to add matching grants. So you can definitely go ahead and do so. And that is found in the report section of your left-hand side dashboard. Under, you'll see donation report and then matching grants. And you can add all of your matching grants there. Okay, how do you recommend choosing a goal that is realistic since we are all asking on the same day? That's a great question. So one of the things that you want to look for or look into are your statistics, general fundraising statistics and general donation statistics. Every organization is different. For some organizations, $100,000 is a really easy ask. And for some organizations, $5,000 is a really difficult ask. So you want to look at general fundraising year round and how many monthly donations you receive. And as well, you want to look at realistically how many of those donors you think will donate again to your cause. And based off looking at those stats, that's what you want to base your goal on. Now, the goal listed here that I've set, it's a display goal. If you meet your goal, that's great. If you don't, that's also fine. And you can also edit your goal at any point. So if you think that the original goal you listed is a little bit difficult to, meet, you can always also edit that goal as well. If we don't have sponsors because we just now heard about this day of giving, should we scramble or leave out sponsors entirely? That sponsor section or sponsors in general, it's not required. Some organizations have that, some don't. That's just a useful section to utilize. And also that section can be utilized for a lot of different other things that can be helpful. If there are other organizations that you work with, or if there are community members or board members that are helping you out, that's just a good section to shout out to people and let them know, hey, these are the organizations or these are the local businesses that have helped our organization and are continuously helping us. So again, it's not required to utilize, but you can definitely brainstorm and think outside the box of how you can utilize it. And if you don't utilize that space, it won't be shown on your event fundraising page. Can we pre-populate the design for people who are joining to start their own teams? I don't want people interested in joining to have to go through a huge design process when they opt into creating a team. I kind of answered that question when I went through the template section. So yeah, so you can, as you saw with the platform, it's pretty fill in the blank. They don't really have to design much. You can even enter a photo for them in the template. So really, they don't have to do a lot in order to get started and participate. Is an event only option with an advanced Mighty Cause account. I seem to only be able to create an individual fundraiser. Advanced, anyone can create an event or a team. You don't have to be on advanced. If you're creating a fundraiser only, it might be because you're clicking the fundraise button on your organization page. I'm not sure what you're exactly doing, but if you follow the process that I went through at the kind of beginning of the training section in regards to clicking that plus icon and selecting start an event, that's how you would do so. You want to make sure that you're seeing the event, that it says event. So some are asking about having this video available to go through. Yes, we'll be providing this video in a follow-up email. So I'll also be posting this on YouTube afterwards, so you can go through this in detail. I try to go over everything relatively quickly. So if you have any further questions, again, reach out to support@mightycause.com. Someone asked about offline donations. How does that work to show the progress on the event from another donation source? I went through that when I was going through the reports section of how you can add an offline donation. So you can decide different sources. So if you are getting donations from your website directly, you can use the offline donation tool to make sure that those donations are accounted for your campaign. We participated in last year's Giving Tuesday as a group using Mighty Cause. Unfortunately, that group is not doing a Giving Tuesday event. Can we, as individuals, still use our Mighty Cause page without having our donors going through the main group team page? So anyone can create. I'm just rereading the question. Anyone can create, an event or team page. You don't have to use what you utilized last year. You can just create an individual fundraising page. You don't even have to create a team in regards to Giving Tuesday. Whatever fits your needs, it's totally up to you, and whatever is right for you. That's the most important thing. And again, if you have any further questions, reach out to us directly. We're more than happy to kind of steer you in the right direction. Okay, so I have a couple of minutes left. I think I've gone through most of the questions. Any other questions, we'll follow up directly. Also, again, support@mightycause.com if you need any additional help. Are there any final questions that we can help answer for people? Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any further questions coming in. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, in regards to the earlier question, we're going to be posting this training session on YouTube, and as well as this will be sent to you directly in a follow-up email tomorrow. So you'll have all of this information provided to you, as well as the resources I laid out in the slide deck. I hope this was helpful. Please let us know if you have any other follow-up questions. Thank you so much and stay safe. Goodbye.